Today I'm going to be going to an electrolysis appointment, so that's to remove facial hair permanently for trans women. So I'm just going to be having an appointment for that, and then I've got to pre-record the radio show, and I thought it'd be a great time to talk about my experiences with facial hair removal as a trans woman. So we're going to be discussing electrolysis, laser hair removal, and just some tips and tricks to look after your skin and such whilst doing all of that. Let's get right into it. So here we can see my face before the appointment. I've got some hair, especially around the mouth area, but overall I don't get a great deal of facial hair growth, and this is after 2 months now of not shaving. So I've just got outside of my electrolysis appointment, and it wasn't too bad really. You can see it's very swollen, the area, but in terms of pain, you kind of just feel the first couple of hairs that are removed, and then after that your skin kind of numbs itself, so it's not that bad pain rise. But I'm just gonna get myself, no, I can't go home immediately, I've got to do the radio show. Now I'll get myself home and we'll go over some tips and my experience of laser hair removal. Hi everyone, so I've just got back home from the recording of the radio show, and yeah, overall electrolysis went pretty good too, which was great. So yeah, I'm in a slightly different light now. So again, I'll do some close-ups and I'll play around with the light that I use when recording, just so you can see it. So there's some scabbage around the mouth, so around there. That's the most sensitive area really. That's where it hurt most to do that, in the corners of the mouth. And yeah, we kind of just went over this general area this time round. To be completely honest, I don't get a great deal of hair growth on my face. So I've again, as if you've seen all my other videos, I've done HRT for the past 5 years, since I was 17, and even before then I only really got dark hairs, just kind of like this area. I've never really got much mustache hair or the great deal of neck hair either really. And within the first year of HRT, that's when I did my laser hair removal. So I was really blasting that whilst estrogen was helping to reduce hair growth, which it will do slowly as well, which is perfect. And yeah, in the past year or so, it was actually in the vlog that I first arranged doing this electrolysis, where it got to the point where I'd only really need to shave once a month, if that really, with the laser hair removal and the estrogen reducing the growth speed. But it was still bothering me that I had to shave at all. So that's why I've decided to do electrolysis, just so I can permanently remove the hair growth. And yeah, it is a bit painful, again, around the mouth area especially. That's where it is most painful. But after the first couple of times that electrolysis is done, the first, like, where they insert a little needle into the hair follicle, zap it, and then pluck it out. The first time that they do that in an area, that's really the only time that you feel it almost. You can feel the other ones, but like the pain receptors are kind of like they've had their moments, so it doesn't hurt as much, which is handy at least there. But with my hair growth, because I'll get like little patches of wiry hairs and fast growing hairs, like around here and around there and there and around there, when we're doing the electrolysis, we're going from one place to the next place to the next place again, compared to if we're just focusing on one area, which we kind of did this time around, the chin and the mouth area, kind of when you're doing that and it's just like constantly in one area, then the pain subsides, which is weird if you think about it, but you can kind of just like close your eyes and relax when electrolysis is happening, which is handy at least. I think some people with a lower pain threshold are able to use some topical creams to help with pain. So you can get, I think it's called EMLA cream, which is like a mix of like lidocaine and another weak anaesthetic, just to apply to the area a couple of hours beforehand. So you can certainly look into those options there with your physician, of course, with their recommendations. But overall, the pain isn't that bad for me. And similarly, when we were doing laser hair removal, to be honest, most people say electrolysis is more painful than laser hair removal, but I think it was the other way around. Maybe because I do have quite light hairs, so the laser is probably reacting with my skin more than the hair in some areas. Don't get me wrong, it did a great job again in reducing the hair growth speed, and certainly the colour of it there. I only really get white hairs that are growing now. But yeah, and out of both of those things, I think laser did hurt a lot more. Laser is a good option though. I think for most trans people, unless your hair is blonde or red or white from the get-go there, it might be worth looking into laser hair removal on the face just to get as many hair follicles as possible. And then once you've had a satisfactory result from the laser, after, for me it took 8 sessions, but typically 8 to 16 sessions or so to get that maximum reduction, which is about 90% reduction for hair growth, then go in with electrolysis for what you've got next. Just because laser hair removal, it does tend to be cheaper than electrolysis as well, so it's certainly a good option there, at least to start with, even if it won't permanently get rid of the hair, for you to then go in with electrolysis on, which I've decided to do ultimately. Just some aftercare tips that I did have for both laser hair removal and electrolysis, really, from my experiences with both of them. Right off the bat, the best thing that you want for your aftercare with laser and electrolysis is aloe vera. So long as you're not allergic to aloe vera, it is just so good. It soothes the pain when there is soreness there that you're feeling, and also it does a really good job at just moisturising, calming down any inflammation as well. I believe aloe vera has a little bit antimicrobial as well, so it can just help to keep the site clean as well, because I don't think you can really see them necessarily, even when I go quite close in this light. But after electrolysis, you can get a tendency to get loads of whiteheads on the area that's been affected, because it can really just lead to, once the hairs are removed in the way that they do it, it can just make it so easy for bacteria to get in there. So it's very important to keep that clean. And again, aloe vera is quite good for a few different points there. And then just off of keeping the area clean as well, something that I've been really enjoying for the past, I want to say the past year and a half or so, I've been using it anyway, is there's this thing called hyaluronic acid, and I've been using it in facial washes, so you can get like just a really gentle cleanser with hyaluronic acid in it, which is quite good, but also in a moisturising night cream, which I apply sometimes day and night, just to make sure that I'm really moisturising the area too, which is recommended for both laser hair removal and also electrolysis post-treatment, just making sure it's staying nice and moist, your skin. I think typically you want to try and avoid caffeine and alcohol as much as you can as well, especially with electrolysis. That's something that my physician warned not to really engage in for a couple of days before and after a session, just because drying out the skin before a session can actually make it harder to get the hairs for the electrolysis, but also it really dries out your skin, which is something you want to avoid when you're getting these treatments done, just so your skin can stay as good as it can. Yeah, so that's a great one there, to use a hyaluronic acid wash and moisturisers as well. Use plenty of moisturiser regardless of the one that you do choose. Another important thing, just to make sure that you're doing anyway, is to have a consistent conversation with your physicians there, be it laser or electrolysis, just about how your skin is reacting, so that they can recommend maybe anything that they need to do, perhaps if they need to tone down the intensity of the treatment, or if they have to recommend maybe any creams and stuff in particular, just with regards to this, so antiseptic creams maybe to help keep the site clean, for example, or anything like that's needed. Something that I've been using during electrolysis, which is really good, is toner. The way that toner works, again, it's a great product to use even for a skincare routine if you're not getting electrolysis or anything like that. But toner is a great product with being able to help to keep your skin clean where you're getting electrolysis. With a toner that I use, it includes witch hazel, which is, again, it's good for cleaning wounds, but it's also really good for redness that you can get and just really calming down any inflammation as well, a bit like aloe vera. I'm fairly certain the toner I've got actually has aloe vera leaf juice in it as well, which is quite handy. So yeah, you want to be using a toner of some sort, again, just to be able to help to keep the skin in best condition there, to especially after just having a session there, to keep everything clean. So that's something that I'd recommend as well personally. There's just some general aftercare tips for laser hair removal. This is really important, but you should really be using it if you're getting electrolysis anyway. Anyone really should be using it, is SPF. So it's really important that after you get laser hair removal, on the face especially, because your face is constantly exposed, is to be using, I'd say for most times of the year, even in winter like we're in now, something like SPF 30. Your skin's going to be really sensitive to sun damage when you're getting laser hair removal. This is something that a laser technician will suggest for you to use. Personally, I don't think my electrolysis technician recommended that I use an SPF cream, but it's something that you should really be doing anyway, just to make sure that your skin isn't getting further damaged by the sun. And it's great, really. It's great to use all year round. The best anti-aging products that there is in the entire world, the best thing that is definitely going to help, the best studied product, is sunscreen. So yeah, you want to be making sure that you're using your sunscreen, especially if you're getting laser hair removal there. Just some other general advice is it's really a good idea, again, to make sure that in order to keep your infection site clean, is that you're not wearing makeup immediately after getting electrolysis. So you want to be waiting around 24 hours or so before getting made up, before using makeup after you've just had electrolysis there, again, just so you're not filling your pores and your emptied hair follicles with loads of different products and chemicals that are going to cause infections there. There's some other advice there that I've just been looking at is and reminding myself about, is to not pick any scabs that you're going to get. The scabs that I've got right now, the whiteheads and stuff like that, it's natural, it will happen. It really sucks because it really saps away at your confidence whilst you're getting these sessions done, but it's really important that you don't pick these, because you don't want to be leading to scars, you don't want to make it worse and make healing take longer either. So just try to leave your face alone, just try not to touch your face at all, really, other than when you are applying moisturisers, your aloe vera, your toners and stuff like that, just to make sure that everything does heal properly there. And lastly, my final pieces of advice, both for if you're getting electrolysis right now and also laser hair removal, is to really just look after yourself. Transitioning is a really exciting journey, but it is also really tough on yourself as well. There's pains, both emotionally with coming out and stuff like that, and physically too, when you're getting your face electrocuted to get hairs pulled out and whatever. It's a very painful journey, and yeah, it's very easy to get yourself down, but you need to keep on looking after yourself. Drink plenty of water, especially. That's one of the things that they say with aftercare for these treatments. But just make sure that you're eating right, make sure that you're dealing with your emotions properly, so you can continue to look after yourself and be your best self as well. And yeah, just keep on going, because it will get easier eventually. So that's everything from me today. Again, thank you for your time. Please do comment about your experiences with laser electrolysis, and subscribe as well. I want to make this channel a really, really functional community where we're able to give advice to each other through different parts of our transition, maybe talk about the political topics there that I'll be discussing as well, health and fitness, different things around various cities there, going sightseeing and such. So please do leave a comment maybe about anything that you can help advise people to do following these treatments as well, or maybe about something that I've not talked about. Maybe if you're using Vinicra, maybe I believe it is, just like a hair reducing cream or gel that you can put on to slow down the growth. Maybe any other tips that you use, or hair removal methods and advice for that, like waxing, plucking, anything like that at all. Please do leave a comment there just about that, so we can all help each other. Thank you again for your time. Have a nice night. Goodbye now.